Hello, my fellow project managers, PMPs to be, those of you getting ready to take any PMP exam, PMI exam, CAPM. It's become extremely important that I bring this to your attention. Remember when I presented to you the big finale, the big run up to getting certified? Remember we talked about staying calm. But there's only so much calmness you can exhibit when you get to your exam in your house. It's on view. You've got all the software. You've downloaded everything. And you hit start. No response from the system. Or should I say the response is less than ideal? It's not what you imagined it will be. The proctor proceeds to tell you that there's something wrong with your system, but you did all the checks. Now, I want you to journey with me. We're going to take a look at a few of these individuals who have experienced something like this, and I'm going to bring to the conversation a student of mine who in August tried taking the exam at home, went through technical issues, waited over 2 months, tried again today. And I just got the report when I flipped my iPad on that this student again, for the second time, is unable to complete the PMP exam, is unable to even start the thing. How frustrating is that? Now, this is not the only student. In fact, there are many, many students. I'm going to show you right now the experience of another student. You can go to PMI's very site, projectmanagement.com. Let's take a look at what we have on projectmanagement.com here. We have a student, Jared, who has shared some of the experience. Now, this is not PMP, but it's the same software, PMI ACP. Earlier in the week, I downloaded the PearsonVUE software and ran through the environment test. The software found a random application running it didn't like, so it had to turn it down, figure out how to close it. When the software was satisfied, it sent a text message to my phone. But not everyone experiences a resolve of whatever it doesn't like. Sometimes it just doesn't like stuff. Now, I mean, you can go through the the information and read all the information that's here, but if you flip through projectmanagement.com and read different experiences of people, not every experience has a resolve. Not every experience finds the software that is causing the problem. In fact, I had another student, same experience. This time it was an Apple device. It didn't like the iMac. So it didn't allow the student take the exam for weeks. So these are very frustrating traits that have been happening on the exam. And I don't know if you're one of those students that's happened to, but I want to bring to the conversation right now a student that was not able to get resolved. Not like Jared, this student was not able to get resolved for the software that may have been causing the problem that was preventing the monitor from being seen by the proctor. So let me call to the table here. I'm going to ask my PMP stakeholder to unmute and share what exactly happened the first and second occasion. So welcome to the conversation. What exactly happened in August? Can you run us through that?
Hi, Phil. Yes, I can. So when I took my test for the first time in August, I logged in about 30 minutes prior to my exam, logged in, had my system check done, everything. I could see my video feed in my computer. And I started at the point it says, wait for your proctor will come. So I waited. It was, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And this was my very first time taking an online exam. I had no idea. And so I closed the window and then I chatted with the PearsonVUE people, like, what's going on? It's about 45, 50 minutes into the exam. There is no proctor coming. So by that time, they closed the exam. So I called this, they asked me to call the PMI and they said that, you can talk to them. So the customer service rep from PMI told me, yes, that there are lots of online exams scheduled, and the proctors have a long queue, so sometimes they are late. So you shouldn't close your exam. You should keep waiting, even an hour, hour and a half into
What?
the exam.
You should
So
keep waiting? Seriously? For a
yes,
proctor?
that's what the customer service rep told me, that for an it's for an hour. Yes, you should keep waiting.
You should stay just staring at the screen like a zombie for an hour.
Right, and then
That
take a
is
4-hour exam
horrendous.
after that.
And
Exactly.
take a 4-hour exam after that. And that's why I have come out to let you folks know, you folks at PMI, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. You think that one person doesn't matter, but it's not one person. And one person, let me tell you, does matter a lot. But you haven't fixed this problem. It continues to happen over and over again. Your workaround stinks for it. Tell us, what was the workaround? So they wanted you to keep on. And then what did they do for you? Tell me what they did.
So after 5 days, I received credit to reschedule my exam, and I lost my momentum, and it was really very frustrating. It was a difficult time for me, and then it took me a while to get back on the wagon, and I studied really hard. I had my exam this morning, but here is what happened this morning.
So just to be clear, this is the second attempt. So viewers,
Yes,
I hope you're following. August 11th, sometime towards the middle of August. Now
yes.
you lost your momentum. This is a student that I have been helping along the way, trying to keep the momentum up, trying to keep focus up. Can you imagine that? Trying to keep positivity up. Come fast forward to today. So tell us what happened today.
Right. And so I rescheduled. I would have scheduled at a center, but I didn't see any openings near where I live till December. So, and within, I think, 50-mile radius, I tried 3 or 4 centers. I didn't see a day I would have gone. But then I scheduled the online exam thinking, okay, this time it's going to be good. Again, logged in 30 minutes prior.
And you had run these tests. So the test that
Yes, yes.
our friend Jared and the PMI ACP, he ran the test and he had a problem, like a bug. He was able to fix his, but you didn't even get any error, correct?
No, I didn't have any errors. There were no errors. I did my system test last night. Even the first time I did my system test, everything passed. And that's why I sat in the exam. So this time, at least my proctor came, within 15 minutes. So the proctor comes and I can view myself in the video feed, but the proctor could not view me. So they said, okay, do this step, close your on view, relaunch it. I'm going to give you a new code. Um, you know, See if you, so I'm at my home, so I don't have any firewall or anything. It's just a home
No
computer.
firewall,
No
nothing.
firewall. Yeah. And so then she said, do you have Windows Defender or any
Defender.
antivirus?
Yeah.
Yes. And so I double checked that, turned everything off. Everything was off anyway. My system test had passed. So, but double checked it. And by that time, we had tried 3 times. So she said, okay, get another computer. So, I went down and borrowed my son's computer and tried this again. My everything passed. I did it. I think it took me about an hour and a half. I was,
Wow.
talking to them. I called the customer service, PearsonVue. I was just talking because I wanted to do my exam. I was like, I was desperate. I just wanted to do my
Oh,
exam. But
oh
no,
no.
in spite of passing the system test, everything, it did not happen. And so when I tried it on the other computer, by that time, the exam link had expired. So I couldn't click begin exam. So it was so unfortunate. And,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to do.
This is a student that's been preparing for months. This student was in my class way back, been preparing, trying to keep momentum up, coming to my boot camps, not one, not two, not three, repeatedly coming, showing up on Wednesdays. This is so frustrating. And I want to send a big message to Pearson, to PMI. This is not ideal. This is lackluster. This destroys trust. We trust that we do everything we need to prepare to pass an exam, and we show up, we do our best, and you do not. Why don't you just quit it? Just stop the entire program. It's not acceptable. Let me go really quick. I'm going to read this from another colleague of mine. This is an esteemed colleague of mine he's been in the game for a long, long time. I want to read what Carl had to say in a post in our group. Carl says, the problems with Pearson VUE don't seem to be going away. How true. They don't seem to be going away 2 months later. And before you took the exam, we had another student who had taken the exam months before, the same thing. These problems aren't going away. My goodness, what does it take to stop taking people's money to frustrate them? Because this is taking people's money to send them to the loony bin. Do you know how frustrating this could be? You've got family, you've got friends, you've got commitments, you put them on hold, and you get to the day only to realize they haven't done their part. They haven't kept their part of the deal. It's so frustrating. Not one computer, but two. No firewall, no defender, nothing. There is absolutely no excuse for this. I don't even know what to say. Let's keep reading. It says, student email received this morning. I am supposed to be taking the exam right now. I signed up to take it from home online. I did the systems test and it said everything was ready. I signed in early, uploaded the pictures of my office, agreed to the rules, and then the OnView application froze up. Are you seeing a common theme of lack of quality here, lack of testing, lack of follow through, lack of resolve, buggy, 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 just bugs. This isn't acceptable. You're taking $555 of student money, people's money. You're sending them back and forth over and over again. Do you know that people could fail the exam repeatedly because of this? You should be very sad, PMI. You should be very sad, Pearson. It's not good enough. There's a common theme of distrust. And I want to give some advice to any student that has the option of taking the exam in a test center. Please just do it in a test center, because honestly, it breaks my heart to see my student going through this. I cannot tell you how much this student has put into the process to stay on the horse, to keep going. I've been trying to inspire and motivate this student to keep going. Second time, come on. Come on. Let's go back to what Carl has said here. After waiting over 15 minutes, I called the helpline and I started an online help chat. The notorious help chat hell. That's what it is. Help chat hell. They keep you in there for hours, passing you from one person to the other to the other. Why are you like this? Can't you just get this straight? It's a simple project. Just cut down all of the hoops and jumps you're putting people through. Get sensible coders and testers. Here we are. We're testing people on an exam that is agile related, and we cannot fix these problems. Let's keep reading what Carl says. So I started an online help chat. They advised me to disconnect from my internet and reconnect, which I did. Obviously, I had internet. If I was doing the online chat, hello. I mean, if I didn't have internet, how could I be doing the online chat? They then advised me to close out the application and restart. You see, the same bogus cycle they put my student through is what they put Carl's student through, which I did, and then experienced the same thing over again. The proctor called me and said she couldn't see me on the camera. You see this same trend? Why do they keep playing Russian roulette with our feelings, with our emotions, with our time? It frustrates me. It really does. Because I tell you, as a PMP myself, I cannot imagine all the adrenaline rush getting ready for the big day only to be shut down unapologetically. You deserve to give every student that has had this experience 3 tries in addition. Think about it. Do you know the mental fatigue that this could put someone through for weeks and months? Now, even though other students I've talked about were able to return weeks later and do it and succeed, do you know how badly this could affect one's psyche? Do you know the fear involved? Do you know how deflated one must feel? and you have the gall, the nerve to say, oh, just come back some weeks later. We'll put you through. We'll send you a coupon. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed because you should be bending over backwards. You should be giving these students more tries if they failed, because it's a very disheartening experience. It's mentally draining. Just thinking about, so tell me, let me ask my student on the call right now, how do you feel? Tell us sincerely, truthfully, how do you feel right now? How do you feel about going back to work, resuming your job, family, and all that? How do you feel about that right now? Tell us.
Yeah, I feel really sad. I feel um, really, really, really sad. I barely have words to describe myself. I'm very demotivated. I don't know why this is happening to me. I want to keep studying. I want to give it. I want to get my PMP, but um, I don't know what's going to happen to me the next time. I don't know. I'm actually very fearful now.
Oh dear, I'm really, really sorry about all you've gone through. No one deserves to go through this once, let alone twice, and let alone after ramping up. I mean, the drop in motivation, I can totally relate to the drop that you must have in motivation, because even I'm thinking, okay, how do I pick my student up again, second time? You've done all that you needed to do. You showed up, you listened to what I had to say, you went through all the different options only to get to this. I really am so sorry. But I really want anyone who has a heart at Pearson, at PMI, look into this matter. This is a very, very, very bad situation. And it's not just one student. So we can tell that there's a problem right from the get go. Why do you keep putting students through the trial mill? Are you running trials to see when the problem has been solved? Don't play games with people's feelings and emotions. It's not fair. It's not right. It's immoral to do this. It's immoral. You should shut down the whole program, the whole do it from home program, until you can put in place the software to detect before a student takes the exam that something's off. I mean, what is it? How hard is it to put in place a simulation of the real thing, so that if there's going to be a problem of the camera not showing up, it shows up? It shows me that whatever you've developed is worthless. Because what do we talk about in the world of quality? We talk about Six Sigma, Five Sigma. I mean, I doubt this is even Five Sigma. I would like to know how many people actually experience this. I like to know the statistics. If you are a student and you've experienced this ridiculous, horrendous problem, I want you to comment below. Comment below, because I want to send a signal to our friends at Pearson and the PMI. It's unacceptable. You take big money from us, and this is what you give us? More frustration. It's already frustrating preparing for the exam, and here you go giving us more frustration. Let's read what Carl's student says here. The proctor called me and said she couldn't see me on the camera, but I could see myself on the screen. In the end, they open up a case for me, their infamous ticket from hell, and I have to reschedule. The whole process took an hour and a half. You see the common trend, exactly what my student just told you, an hour and a half. And they had the gall to say, oh, just keep staying on the phone. If you don't see the proctor show up, stay up on the phone for 1 hour. What are you on, for goodness sake? What are you taking? Because you're not making sense to tell someone to stay on the online, staring at the screen like a zombie for an hour for a 4 hour exam. Do you know how mentally draining that can be? Do you know how many people are affected by staring at a computer monitor? Talk less doing it for an hour, waiting for a proctor. Do you know how mentally fatiguing that is? You need to be ashamed. You do. You really do. I cannot tell you how frustrated I am, because it's not the first or the second student. There's a common trend, and you don't seem to care. You don't seem to care about your clients. And that's why you keep running the exam, trial and error, Russian roulette. Don't play games with people's emotions, people's time. It's so frustrating. I said enough is enough. I need to talk about this. And I need everyone that has gone through this to comment below, so that people who are thinking of taking the exam, perhaps when there are 0 people taking it, They'll begin to smell the coffee. Oh, we need to do something about this. Very reactive, very, very reactive. So this poor student, Carl student, says, I have to reschedule. The whole process took an hour and a half. I am devastated. I was so ready to take this exam. Now, don't come at me saying, oh, it's going to be okay. Just go back and keep up the momentum. No. What if this student didn't pass on the next try? Would PMI say, oh, we're sorry. We'll give you an extra try. Well, that's the reality of it. That's the reality. You should. If you cannot bend over backwards to guarantee me you'll make it good with me, then don't put me at risk. Risk reward, it doesn't balance out. Getting certified doesn't have to be hell, even if you're doing it at home, as they say in your jammies. Come on now, PMI. You can do better than that. I know I've got my gripes with you. I know I'm crazy about a lot of things you're doing, but I trust you to uphold good customer service, good customer support, to be concerned about the customer. This isn't even me. This isn't even me, the student, the trainer. This is my student. So this isn't me. I've got my gripes. That's on another level. But this, when you touch my students' interests, I got to speak up for them. No one's speaking up about it to this degree. So Carl put this on our board. Let's see the responses he got. 0 from the PMI. 0. Let me also read another comment here from an esteemed colleague of ours, also PMP. And the reader says, we've had a couple of issues only. Glad you're testing it. Has anyone heard when there will be a slot in some of the classes such as this? Okay, that's a different discussion, but a couple on top of what Carl has seen, on top of what I've seen. Let's read what one of my esteemed colleagues, Sandra, says. It's sad that students all over are having these issues. It seems experiences are superb or disastrous. So disappointing for students who are ready and then have to wait again. Thanks, Carl, for bringing this up again. Let's read what another of our students, another of our teachers here on the REP forum said. This is from Ganesh. Ganesh says, one of my students too experienced a similar incident. But PearsonVue opened a case with technical issues. This happened 2 to 3 weeks before, but no updates. Can you see this? It's awful, horrendous. 2 to 3 weeks, still no updates, still nothing. From 31st December to be a deadline, students are not getting the exam dates and seems only this option with high level risk. I don't know. If you are thinking of taking the PMP exam, and I see my friends here, additional students of ours, Jeff, Amanda, if you have any questions, I want you to go ahead, put the questions in the chat. Let's activate chat. Put the questions in the chat here, Jeff, Amanda, put any questions you have for a frustrated PMP student. But if you ask me, please don't take this thing at home. It's gone to the point where I cannot even sell it anymore. At first, I came out all jubilating and happy. No. The price is too high. One experience is enough. And it's not as though this is a Mac. No. Let me ask my student to unmute again. Can you confirm that this is indeed a Windows computer? It is a Windows computer,
Yes.
right?
Yes, Phil, it is.
So this is not a Mac, but it's become, the noise levels have become too high. AC Reese says, do you have any feedback from test takers from a test center? Thank you, AC Reese. Good to hear from you on YouTube. The answer is, yeah, we hear from people who go to test centers all the time because a lot of people have grown weary of this. And honestly, I can't blame them. I was trying to sell this to a lot of students as well. You can't go to test center, take it at home. Now I'm not going to sell it. So AC Reese, I would say go to test center. I've taken all my exams from PMI at a test center. I have had students that have had problems at test centers, but not insurmountable that they had to leave the test center without taking the exam. And I mean, this was probably even in the days of Prometric. Probably some have experienced this in the days of Pearson, but it's not insurmountable. It was nothing that couldn't be solved immediately. So let me ask my student here to tell us, what advice do you have now that you've been through this? What advice do you have for anyone that's thinking of taking the PMP exam at home? Any ideas? Any comments? You want to share your 2 cents?
Yep, Phil, I would say go to a test center. You don't want to go through what I'm going through mentally. It's not worth it. I don't know how I'm going to get back on track, and it's just not worth it. It's agony. It's pure agony.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing your deep thoughts, and I'll come back to you in a second. I'm going to tell you what exactly I think you should do, and what I think anyone else that's going through this should do. My student on the call here, another student who has not taken the exam yet, says unacceptable. I'll definitely go to the center. I know and understand what it's like to get caught up in the PMI robo chat tool. Absolutely, that's very true, Amanda. And another student of mine, Jeff, says, looking at taking the exam sometime later this year. Date withheld 11:30. Very good, very good. Well, thank you, and I do believe I owe you a video response of some sort, and I will create that, Jeff. So thank you for coming on tonight. If you have any other questions about anything in the process, please feel free to chat them in. But I want to spend next few couple of minutes just talking to students that this has happened to. All right, so I don't want to make this smaller than it is because it's huge. It's big. Let me take you down memory lane. For those of you that have been preparing for the exam, maybe you've passed the exam. Do you know how many hundreds of hours people put into this? So I have a video that shows that the average student for passing the exam puts in anywhere from 100 upwards to 500 hours of study. Think about what 500 hours of your life studying for an exam such as this means. A lot of effort, a lot of brain power, mental investment. Don't diminish it. Those of you running around saying, oh, PMP exam is just a dumb exam, please just go away. Those of you who are focused on taking it and you've been studying, more power to you. You're doing the right thing. But if you've been through this experience, you owe it to yourself to unplug. If it means unplugging for a day or two, please unplug. You got to get your mental wits about you. You need to know this is not your fault. You need to know that you are just the victim of bad planning, poor quality. So don't take it personal. I know it's hard not to, but just know that this could work out for the best. But you need to unplug. I would say unplug. So I'm talking to my student right now. I know all that you've put in. I know all the energy you've put in. And part of my fear is you put in a bad layer on top of it. I would rather you didn't put any layer than putting a bad layer on top. What do I mean by a bad layer? There are other solutions that may derail you, throw you off, point you in a bad direction, and you might just be trying to sustain. So I would say for now, just unplug. Unplug for a couple of days, 1 day, 2 days, just unplug. After you unplug, begin in baby steps, going through the very beginning. Go for a tiny little snack of maybe 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So go in little increments and then double it up. But I would say try to get some closure first about what they're going to do. They'll come back with the coupon story again and say, oh, there's another coupon for you to do it. I'm hoping that by the time the PMI is aware that this video is out, that they will think again. They will really think again about this January 2nd date. You, PMI, owe it to the hundreds. I can put my money on it that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of students worldwide that have gone through this. So this is a direct message to you, PMI. You owe it. You owe it to every student. This is me. This is my idea. You owe it to every student that has had this unfair experience to go above and beyond for them. Personally, I think you owe them at least 4 tries. If they failed it, 4 tries. Personally, this is what I think. Enough is enough of all the red tape. Oh, this is the date of January 2nd, and beyond this date, thou shalt take the new exam. Give me a break with all this. Don't let me call it what it is. I'm trying to keep this PG-13. Don't let me call it what it is. But PMI, you really owe it to every student. You need to throw your January 2nd date out. Throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. What you need to do is help these poor people that have given your company, they've given you revenues of $555. You owe it to them to be fair. Let me be honest. If this was my firm, short of giving you the PMP on a platter, I would give you more than enough. Honestly, I would 2x the tries. I would say you got 6 tries to pass the exam. But I know that you would not go that far because there's a lot of red tape with PMI and other organizations as such. So all I'm asking for you to do, this January 2nd date, come on now. You've taken months and hundreds of hours away from people. Hundreds of hours. It takes someone that's been through the process. I know lots of you in the offices at PMI, you ain't been through PMP. You don't even know what it is. All you're doing is bringing out your calculators and doing ka-ching. That's how much revenues we're going to make. But if that's not you, I want you to prove it to us by throwing out your ridiculous 2nd of January date. You've already taken hundreds of hours away from people. You've taken away a lot of people from families for months. They show up to take the exam. You're taking away more time from them for them to ramp back up. Come on, PMI. I know we have our disagreements, but I'm trusting that this video will call your attention to the frustrations of hundreds. You can't just do that. We're human, right? We're not some plant, some cactus by the wayside that you'd ignore. No. Even cactuses in Arizona, the saguaro cactus, it gets the accord. You can't just pull one of them out. You get arrested. You get fined. So I want you to treat us like humans we are. We have feelings. We have emotions. This is a big deal. It is a big deal. The PMP exam is a big deal. It's one of the biggest deals. Now, you are always quoting CIO magazine and saying, oh, the PMP exam is the most revered certification in the world. Well, the PMP exam is also one of the most draining, mentally draining certifications in the world. So I want you to know what you're putting people through, okay? We're not animals. Even animals get the right amount of accord. PETA will be after you. But let me be the advocate for the people taking the exam. It's unfair. Come on now. This poor student of mine, I'm just shattered for this student. So you need to make it right with these students that have kept their nose to the grindstone, trying to go through your process. I demand 4 tries, PMI. I think that's fair enough. For everyone that has been through this unfortunate event. You can laugh, you can gloat, you can say this guy's off his rocker, he's crazy, he's a lunatic, whatever, but at least I brought it to your attention. And I'm going to put this all over LinkedIn. I'm going to tag you, PMI, I'm going to tag you so that you are aware that your exam is causing people mental distress, frustration, anguish. So it would be immoral for you to say, yeah, we're going ahead with the 2nd of January date. Do you know how many people there are in queue to take this exam? Do you know the long queue? You and Pearson need to get it together. My goodness. 2 so-called big kahunas. Are you big for nothing? Come on now. Prove to us you're not big for nothing. Get your act together. And we want to see you offering people an extra try for what has happened. if they fail the exam, it's not about revenues. I know you're there looking at revenues, forecasts, crystal balling here and there, thinking about this new exam. Look, you cannot say, as the proverb says, you cannot say good morning where you have not said good night. You have not said good night to these students, these queues of students, hundreds, thousands of them. You've not made it right with them. Then you want to open up a new chapter, talk about bad karma. You want to open up a new chapter on the 2nd of January? Seriously? Come on now. So we're talking about the principles in the 7th edition. I have to bring that up. Prove to us that your principles are not hogwash. Prove to us. Do something about it. Do something about it. So for all you students that have had this experience, unplug, ramp up in baby steps. And this is what I promise to you. I will have another session where we're not talking about the problems. Hopefully, we're going to hear some from PMI. Hopefully. Hopefully. Hands together, fingers crossed, whatever you want to do. But I will have another session like this on YouTube where we talk about how to get back on the horse, how to stay on the horse. That is the least I can do for those of you that are struggling. It breaks my heart because I know what I went through to get ready for the exam. I cannot imagine the plug being pulled and someone saying, all right, buddy, you got to come back in 2 weeks and do this all over again. What? No, no, no way, no way. No way. So I had to show up this evening to be a voice for my student. This student has been on the journey. Not only has this student been on the journey, this student has looked out for me. So how dare I not show up for her? So for those of you that think, oh, it's just an exam that was missed, just do it again and stop whining. Shame on you. I really hope this is not your thought, PMI. I'm looking forward to you doing something for these students. Throw out the date. Oh, how about fast tracking it? For people that want to take the new exam, let them be able to take it on 2nd of January. For people who still have business on the old exam, it's immoral on many fronts to badger people out of the current exam and say you got to do the new one. Yeah, too bad. Look at all the delays. Do you think there's not going to be an overflow? Do you not think there's going to be a spillover? I've said mine. I've said what I think. It's up to you. The ball is in your court, PMI. Show yourself to be a moral organization. All right, let's see if there are any concerns here in the chat. I don't have my glasses. I'm sorry if I have to squint here a little bit. Wife. Greer, hi Phil, I watched your video on the PMBOK 7. Will you happen to know when the dreaded test will change? Yes. So to that end, I was about putting a video on YouTube, wife, about that today, but I decided not to do that and to focus on this topic. So the 7th edition based exam, oh my goodness. When you talk about a company that is unable to plan the way they want you to prove you can plan, right? On the various exams, be it Agile, be it PMP, be it RMP, SP. We even have an SP exam, but we cannot schedule, we cannot give dates in the world of the PMI. But that, I don't want to take away from tonight. Wife, just stay tuned to the channel. I am going to put another video out where I address this whole 7th edition exam changing 2nd of January stuff. But for now, the PMI, they don't even know. They can't even tell us when the 7th edition is coming out, let alone when the exam is changing from the 6th to the 7th. So that will be in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, wife. Wife says, I signed up to take my exam at a testing center because I wasn't sure if I could take the test at home. Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's see. My student Amanda says code of ethics at play. Absolutely. Fairness, responsibility. Well said. There you go. There you go, PMI. Those are your words served back to you. Served back to you. what are you going to do? Are you just going to keep ignoring people? Or are you going to say, put out a memo for goodness sake? Let me take a look at their website one more time because they've got this on view page here. Let's see the on view page. Um, so nope, absolutely nothing. You need to address the problems people are facing. Okay, you need to address it. It's too much. It's too much. It's just disheartening, disheartening. So I want to say thank you very much to my student. My student is dropping off the call. Thank you. Stay tuned. There'll be more on this. For those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for joining me as always. And you're very welcome. No problem. Anyone got any other questions about the PMP exam? For those of you just come in, we're taking a look at what happened to a student of mine today and 2 months ago. History repeated itself. Poor student unable to take the exam for the second time. For the second time. Not good. Not good. And my charge to PMI is you got to make it right with these people and you got to throw out this ridiculous 2nd of January date. You got to let people have enough time because test centers are not open. A lot of people have this trepidation now towards taking it at home. I don't blame them. All right. Let me ask my students here. Any questions that you want me to answer? Jeff, any questions or concerns? There anything I can answer for you? All right. Well, with that, I want to say a big thank you. Oh, you got a question?
No, I just unmuted. Thank you for this video tonight. I went ahead. I was apprehensive about doing it at home also, and I've been going back and forth wanting to do a test center. So I found a date in November that'll work with my
Nice.
schedule. So I went ahead and did it tonight. So I appreciate this video. You made my decision. So kind of since this video came up as I checked my phone, I guess this was a way of someone looking out for me saying you better do it this way. So.
There you go, Jeff. Absolutely, absolutely. And I got your email, and I'm gonna. I got an email about. Have I responded to all your emails, Jeff? There's one outstanding. Is there?
Yes, sir. That cheat sheet on Saturday, for whatever reason, when I tried to
The
do the
cheat sheet.
save screen,
Yeah.
the save screen, it didn't do it. And then when I watched your video in the LMS on the way it does in my computer, it's not the resolution is not quality enough to be able to print it out, with my study papers. So
yeah, I will get that to you, Jeff. You know what? I actually
okay.
think that thing is on the learning management system as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
let me take a look. I'm going to send it to you right now. It's version 4. So here we go, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's are you on a machine like a laptop? Computer?
Yes, I'm on my laptop.
Cool.
Yes.
Did you get it? I just shot it to you. It's a PDF. You see it in the chat?
In the chat. No, I'm on my phone right now.
Oh,
Let's
you're on your
see.
phone. Right. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna send it to you by email because I know once I get off these calls, things just get hazy for me. So I'm gonna open up my email right now, Jeff, and I'm gonna send that to you. Apart from that, how is your studying coming along though? Coming along
I
good?
went ahead. Yes, I've been taking your. I took the 1 hour mock. I took the intermediate last night, and then I'm gonna take the 4 hour this weekend.
Good man.
I still have a ways to go, but I'm feeling more and more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm guessing like I did last year. At least now, when I get a wrong answer, I think I'm in the ballpark.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. So, were you on the call when Kathy came on Wednesday with
No, I couldn't. I couldn't make it Wednesday, but I did watch the video and had all three, telling the stories about how they passed the test. I did watch that video.
Oh, you watched it. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. So,
Yeah, I've been watching your daily drills at night, or if I happen to miss it Wednesday, I try to catch up at night.
nice. That's cool, Jeff. So I just shot you the cheat sheet, but I wanted to remind you, you know, did you watch the video about all the things you need to do before taking the exam, the 5 mock exams, the PMI mock exam? and all those other things I put out. Have you seen that video? Because there's a video that I put out about that. All the things you need to do before taking your PMP exam. You
Yes,
watch it?
I've taken all the chapter quizzes, and like I said, I've
Nice.
been working on the 1 hours, and then I'm also working on those smaller. The other, I can't remember what number it is, but there's like all the chapters you have that are like maybe more than 10 questions, maybe they're 15 questions.
Yeah.
I've been going through those. Been going through those too.
Very good. Very good. I'm glad you've been doing that. And yeah, if anything comes up, just let me know. We still have the wonderful Wednesdays, so that will be running
Yes, sir.
for some more weeks. I think our last one is sometime late October, but hey, we're just gonna keep on chugging along via email. Any assistance you need, just let me know. And then we're starting a new program, which I'm gonna make available to folks who are on the group, so they'll get a notification about how to join the program um, in a special arrangement, because we have another program coming up, which is 40 days to PMP exam success. For those of you watching on YouTube, go to praizion.com, look for 40 days to PMP exam success. We are challenging ourselves to get certified in 40 days, starting on the 19th of October. So there's a lot more stuff that you see flying around, Jeff, and just keep on chugging. But look for the daily drill where I talk about all the things that you need to do to be ready for the exam. It's somewhere there on YouTube. Can't find it right now, but I list out the 5 mock exams that we have. I list out the PMI mock, and I list out a boatload of other things. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, I've added the PMI mock order where you showed that through the chat, so I have that to take. And then I don't know if I saw all 5 mocks. I'll keep looking on the LMS, but I know I can think of 3 of them right now.
Very good.
I'll keep on looking in the LMS.
Cool. Let me know how it goes. Just shoot me some updates, and yeah, keep Kathy engaged. I've told Kathy to come again next week, so she should be on the call along with our other friends, Susanna and Sadaf. So yeah, I hope you can make it next week on Wednesday.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jeff. And thank you everyone for watching. Wife, thank you very much for asking. That cheat sheet is available to our students who are on our program, on our learning management system. But thank you all very much. Appreciate you. Share this video. PMI needs to know. They're causing people a lot of pain, a lot of distress, a lot of it. I mean, I cannot even imagine staying on the horse again, having to go back to the book. I mean, imagine waking up thinking, oh, thank goodness, that's it. I'm done. This is the day I'm going to get rid of this thing once and for all, only to have to wake up the next. It's like a living nightmare. Anyway, enough said. Appreciate all of you. Share this video, and I wish you all the best. Don't take it at home. You've already scheduled it at home and you can change it. Be smart. Change it to a test center. Just wear a mask. You're going to be okay. We've had a lot of students, a lot of people associated with our firm taking it in the test center. Initially, I discouraged it. I said, why can't you just take it at home? But with all this craziness that is happening, please don't take it at home. As they say, don't try this at home.